Hello, my name is Dr. George Mochocki, and welcome back to week 7. We're almost at the halfway mark. How exciting! I, you guys are doing great. Okay, here's what we're going to have this week. Last week we had our chapter 6. We talked about motivating employees. We looked at different ways how how you're motivated at work, at school, and look at different ways how you would motivate your employees or motivate yourself as a manager. You set up your own self goals. Now, going forward, and we also talked about a little bit through the discussion that the same motivational techniques you utilized last week to motivate employees are the same ones that you would utilize to motivate customers to buy my product. Okay, so we're all done that. Exam two, there's a few people who finished exam two. I went from an A to like a C minus or on there. Look, it's just one exam out of several exams going forward. Remember, just prepare it. Some of you didn't do too well on the exam. That's fine. Your overall grade is still looking good. When I'm looking at the short answers, I don't want bullets. Remember, the reason for the short answer essays are not bullets is to write it in a professional manner, utilizing grammatically correct sentences, periods, just like you'd be submitting a proposal to somebody. So I'm looking at a paragraph, not a whole bunch of bullets. I asked about motivation or something. Those two questions. Each question was worth 6 points. You gave me a few bullets. You're not going to get 6 points. You get 4 points. I do the short essays to help you on the exam, not to stifle or bring your grade down. The exams, and it helps you write. It gives you, instead of looking at all the different chapters, you have two questions that I ask, and you'll respond to those questions. Not too hard. Write it in your own words, not just bullets. Okay, bullets are good for PowerPoint presentations or something, but I would like to, so that's where some of you suffered on that. But I think overall you do fine. Okay, so I'm still doing with the 25 questions. I think 2 points each, and then usually the one chapter will have two essay questions, and I utilize the same format going forward. Okay, so let's see what we have on chapter 13. Interesting, halfway, chapter 13. Now, what I want you to do, everyone, remember you're supposed to look in here. Let me just go in here real quickly. Hang on, remember, I'm live in these things. You're supposed to go in here, and I want you to make sure you look at, let's see, major paper requirements. Go in there, look at it. Next week, we're going to start discussing it. But in the meantime, starting the chapters going forward, you're going to be building your final paper. What you post in the forums, what you post and other students give you recommendations or ideas or things to look at. Start taking and copying it. Open up this thing, look at the 7 headers that are required, open up a file that says my paper, whatever it is, I'm accounting, or whatever you're gonna, you know what I mean, make that a thing. Business 121 online, this section, your name, and then what your paper is about. Put the 7 headers in, and you start populating it. Don't have to worry right now about full sentence or anything else. Just put underneath the right categories, the right headers, so then when you're at the end, ready to write the paper at the last couple of weeks when you have to submit it, you have all the parts there, just like baking a cake. You bring the flour out, you bring the sugar out, you bring other things out, and then you have it all ready. And then now you bake it. The materials are there. You just have to put it into a fashion that's professional and makes and follows the 7 templates and is written at a college level. Okay, so just remember, so open up a file, hard thing, open up a file, and you start adding as we're doing the forms and the comment, cut and paste and put it in there, and then when you're ready to do it, you already have about 50 or 60% of the paper written if you do this correctly. Now, spend a little more time now responding to the questions in the form and posting it. So what do we have for week 7? Right now, you don't see week 7. I think I usually have it open up till Sunday. So, right, because you still have to work the other, you have your Learn Smart you have to complete from last week. You have your exam 2 you will be completing, and then you have other things. So I want you to say, I'm all done. Now Sunday, spend a little time with your family. It's a day of rest. Saturday or Sunday, depending on your which one you consider that you're going to rest on. Uh, then start reading your chapter. Look at my videos. It gives you the whole chapter within an hour, full lectures. Put your notes, read the book, easy reading. Respond to my forum questions. I think this week I gave you to Tuesday midnight, so I won't take any points off. Those who post late, I take points off. Remember, you won't see the other individuals' postings until you finish yours, and then you should be all set. Okay, so let's see what we have for week 3. Week week 7. You're going to click on it. You'll have two things. You learn smart, you have that already in there. You're going to do a SWOT analysis homework. This SWOT analysis homework is to prepare you for when you submit your papers, your final paper. So at least you know how to submit assignment the way I want to submit it in Blackboard, which most instructors will want it. So then I can open up, make my comments, and basically send it back to you all within Blackboard. And now I have your final paper is in there forever and ever within Blackboard. So down the road, you could always say, hey, I got this grade. You see what you did. Okay, so here's what you, now remember, I'm not one for you to do busy work. So what you're going to do, this SWOT homework is a regular written paper. I'm looking at least for 2 paragraphs. You will first print out this, let's see, let's go to the SWOT homework. I go in here. Okay, that's a folder. You'll print out this copy here, and let me just show you. I'm going through this. It's going to be a little longer than 6 minutes. And this is just a worksheet. Remember, you don't have to worry about this because sometimes I utilize the same format for my face-to-face class. You're working in teams. You're working as individual entrepreneurs or sole proprietor, for lack of better words. You'll submit this for the week. Blah, blah, blah. So here's what you're going to do. You're going to do this, write it down. Right now, this is just real. Here you can write your bullets, but when you write the paper, you will write it in 2 paragraphs. You can say, "Hi, my name is I'm George's hot dog stand, and some of the strengths from my business are blah 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 blah. And here's the rationale. One of my strengths may be I got a high quality food because I'm going to be buying my food only Vienna hot dogs from a plant in Chicago, so I'm using American worker, whatever. You add on to this because this is going to be part of your formal paper. It's not bullets. This is a worksheet. I'm thinking like a rough outline when you're taking your English classes. All right. So this is a rough outline. Then you're going to tell me what's one of your weaknesses. Not that I don't have the money, right? Because remember, there's 2 aspects in a business that you're going to be looking at your idea. You're looking at the cash flow. You're looking at the management, and I'm looking at the strengths. Since this is a marketing chapter, I'm looking at more at your strengths and your weakness of your product, your business, or your concept, not the management, not the workers right now. If I'm doing and open up a business and I'm opening up an accounting firm, then it is only me. So I am looking at me, myself, and everything else. But most people, what I'm looking for the marketing, what you're going to find out, the strengths is what you're going to start doing your marketing campaign. We're getting ready, and 4 P's of marketing. Make sure you figure out what they are. Look at there's a video, energized video. Look at the energized video and look how they utilize the 4 P's. Look how they utilize brand awareness. Look how they got people to, when I see that bunny, I don't have to think that energize. I just know when I see that little pink bunny, blah, 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 energized bunny. No matter what, they don't have to have the energize. They already have that message out there. We last forever. You see how that symbol, the trademark, the bunny, everything in my mind, when I see the bunny, I think this thing never stops. It's just always going. Okay? All right, and then the next thing you're going to look at your opportunities and your threats for your business. Okay, remember there's 2 aspects. One is the management for the investors. Right now, we're marketing. I'm looking at your business because you're going to look at your strengths, weaknesses, and opportunity. Let's go real quickly, and I've got this in the chapter lecture. Strengths and weakness are internal to me. I can control those. Opportunities and threats are outside the environment. What are the opportunities for my business to expand, or my product, or my new service to go? What are the threats? I have to know the threats. What are you going to do? If I'm looking at open up legal marijuana, I'm just going to do that real quickly because I got some students. Legal marijuana in the states is medical marijuana, legal marijuana. Jeez, excuse me, Dr. George said legal marijuana, I'll be in trouble. Medical marijuana in Illinois is legal. So if I'm opening up a dispensary, what are the rules? What's my strengths and everything else? Now, if I'm opening up the dispensary, thinking in 3 or 6 or another year, thinking in the future that now medical marijuana is in. If I look at the trends of what's going on to other states that legalize medical marijuana, now they're turning around and let's do it as recreational marijuana because the states need cash and we need a sin tax to put it on for something. We tax the hell out of alcohol. We tax the heck out of tobacco. There's a lot of rules. So let's see what else we could tax. So states are doing that. Okay, so that's the future. I'm in here. I'm looking at my market expanding in the future. Take the investment. Businesses are thinking. Now you have the new administration. What is the new administration stand on medical marijuana? Remember, the states are saying it's okay. The federal government is saying, on the books, it's still an illegal substance. How is the administration? So there is a risk factor. I still can make money on that, but if I'm looking at more at the recreational marijuana coming in here, I may slow down on that. That could be a major risk for my operation. Okay? Or an opportunity or a threat. Or the opportunity could be I open up the medical marijuana, and now the trend is that the government says we're going to declassify it or whatever they're going to do, not a substance A. Yeah, I'm not sure. Or, you know what I'm talking about. And then bring it back down, and now the states will say, hey, now I could do it. Because I know there's a lot of craft foods, there's a lot of different industries already looking at the recreational. How could we do it? Cigarette machines, the companies are looking at having a dispenser. Put your driver's license, whatever, so they're ordering up, and we could dispense whatever on that. There's a venue. It all is hedges in the future, taking a risk. But if it goes the way I think it's gonna go, boom, 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 I can make. If not, I lose the money. Do you see how you're looking at the risks? Okay, so real quickly, so you got your strengths and your weakness. Just drive your competitive advantage. That's what you're gonna be marketing with when we do that. Now I want you to look at a couple of your competitors within your geographic area. Make it small. Here's where you're gonna open up. I want everybody in the United States, but you're going to have one segment you got to get that's going to start the process going. Then you build on that. You look at your competitors. All I want you to look at their weaknesses and look at their strengths. Identify them. You can kind of know. And now, hopefully, your strength will overcome their weakness. So when you're doing your marketing campaign as we're going forward, your advertising campaign, this will basically overcome your strength, overcome their weakness. So customers will try your product. Existing customers already know about your product or service and going in. Or you may be a brand new business. No one ever used my business. No one ever had something. I came up with something unique. So now my whole advertising strengths is going to be it's a new product, innovative. I could do it. The weakness is awareness. So I work on my work for the awarenesses. Okay, so that takes care of that. So now you know what. So this is just jotted down. And now, right, it's just a PDF. And now you're going to come in here and you're going to do your homework. So when you're going to come into your homework, this is how I want to submit it. You already been doing the form and everything else. I'm doing this homework here for 15 points. You write it up in a paragraph, couple paragraphs. Here's my strengths. As you would be, then you could take this the SWOT analysis written as properly as you can now and incorporate into your final product. And I think underneath the marketing, and now you're building on your final paper. So you already done it electronically. Save it, put it in there, and now your paper is taking shape. You've got the outline. My 7 requirements or headers that every paper should have. Not 6, not 5, 7. You'll have executive summary. You'll have something about, and that's basically, read it and look at it, and we'll talk about it later. Okay, so you're going to click on here in the homework, and here's what you're going to do. You're going to print out that other thing, and what I want you to do, the comments here is, Dr. George, hope you enjoy it. Dr. George, enjoy my SWAT on hot dogs. I just making this up, okay? That's all the comments there. What you have to do, you don't write a submission. I don't want to cut and paste in here. You're going to browse my computer. You're going to find a file. Let's see, do I got any work files? Let me see. Okay, I'm going to do just something out here. I'll do an icebreaker. I'm just putting it in there. Okay, you're going to find the work file. You see, it's got the DOC or DOCX, and you're going to say yes, 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 and then you submit it. Do you see what's happening? and it's done. Submission, assignment not saved because I'm not a student. So then you'll submit it, and you'll see the file, and that's all you have to do. And it's worth 15 points. Are we good on that one? And I got, let's see, we go back to my SWAT homework. And when you come in here in your SWAT homework, which will be open tomorrow, okay, I got a little runny nose here. Okay, so when you go on your SWOT homework, that's how you submit it. You go in and you can check it. Here's how you submit. I got a short YouTube on here, 12 minutes, goes you through the whole process. Okay, so now you have your SWOT homework. You submit this homework. After you've written up your your two paragraphs, looking about like 200 word counts, give or take 150 to 200 words to give me at least more than three-quarters of a paragraph. Usually on your paper, I'm looking at 300 words. That's double spaced. Per page. That's why I'm not looking too much about pages. It's more word count. Okay, you submit it. Make sure you check off whatever if it's asking you for plagiarism or it's going to check it. Make sure. I don't think I did it on this one, but on your final paper. Now you know you can submit it. And when I get it, and you'll see as a student, you'll see an asterisk that the paper has been submitted. Doesn't mean I can read it. I'll open it. You just submitted something. When I go in there, I'll grade it and I'll put my comments in and resubmit it back to you, and you'll see a grade. After the project is closed, you click on the grade and you see all my verbal comments in there. Okay, so now you have that. So you know your SWOT homework. Let's go back in here. Okay, so that took care of your homework assignment. Now you're going to take that piece, that whole three-quarters of a page, for lack of better words, you're going to minimize it for a forum discussion. This is something that you'll be doing for your PowerPoint. You're going to take a big chunk of information and you're going to summarize it, something to talk about. Now in your PowerPoints, you're going to come in your forum. Again, you know the forum. You're going to click on the forum. It's a combination of two things. You're going to watch the Energizer video first, and you're going to, in the subject matter. Here's what I think about the Energizer video. The four P's. I like how they did it. I think I could implement something like that in my business. Make the comment. Then you're going to take your SWOT analysis, the main portion of this forum. Take your three-quarter of a page of a homework assignment worth 15 points to get your grades up, right? Write me the right thing. You start using concepts in there and minimize it, summarize it in the subject. Say, here's one of my strengths for my business. George's hot dog, quality hot dog, Vienna hot dogs, whatever buns they have here. Hostess buns. I'm not trying to think of it. I'm in the Chicago area. We should know that. Okay, Vienna hot dogs, post buns. Boom, boom. Here it is. And then that's in the subject area. So other people say, oh, he's talking about quality. Let's see, even though I'm not doing quality hot dog, I'm doing quality here. Well, how is he going to measure quality? How is he going to, what's his quality? What does he think is quality? And I'm beginning to start saying, no, I don't think that's a quality. For your business, I think this should be your strength. This should be your weakness. And if you got a weakness, how do I overcome it? Remember, all the weaknesses are in business. I know the worst case scenario and the best case scenario and everything in between. So if I could survive in a worst case, I sure the heck could do well in the best case scenario. That's planning, that's organized, that's looking in the future, taking what's going on now, trying to anticipate what's going to happen with the administration, with the laws, with what's out there, with my customers. All that's what we're going to be building. And when we're just doing a feasibility, does it make sense? I've got the idea, I got the funding. Where am I going to open up this venture? Who am I going to sell it to? That's the next step. And that's where you have to look at. Or you may say, hey, at this time, it may not be feasible, after you do all your research, to open up here in Grays Lake, but I think we're better off in Joliet or someplace else. Okay? So far, so good. Whew, I'll try to keep this under 6 minutes. I know I'm excited. Okay, so you have that. You have the forum. You have your Learn Smart. That's it for this week. Come on, you're doing perfect. Come on, we'll start building. All right. So again, my name is Dr. George Mochocki. And look, last week's forums. Don't wait for me to always respond. I will sporadic. I read every posting, and if I haven't heard much from a student or he or she is needs a little, I'm not sure what to do. A lot of people don't know how to start conversations online. I have a couple of students in this class. I got Kevin. You do an excellent job. I got a lot of others, Kathleen. I've got a lot. There's many of you out here that do a good job. That you post. You have the question. You know how to bait people to ask you more questions. You give them just information so they can say, what do you mean by that? To expand it, just like you do something else. You throw a little seed out there, then you start building. So when I'm looking at this chapter, we're going to talk about marketing. Then we're going to talk about advertising, promotion, and we're going to start building on your product. So not only will you and trying to use it, especially here in this written paper here that you're submitting, you're going to utilize it, or the comments you get from your classmates, virtual entrepreneurs. Start putting them in there. Remember, your paper, I'm looking for 35 business terms and concepts in your paper as a required. I'm also looking for 6 outside sources when you look at the total requirement. Right now, when you're getting some information about your competitor, that could be an outside source. You know how to save it. And I got a whole thing in there. You could do the APA citations through Microsoft Word. Just go on to references, select APA. I got an interview. I got this. It does not have to be what we would call an academic source. I'm opening up a hot dog stand. Not too many people are writing about hot dogs unless it's about weight loss or salmonella or what's put in there, nutritional value. So I would have to go to, if I'm in College County, if I'm in Grays Lake area, I go to see what Sammy's is doing. They're right there on 120 and excuse me, 83. And then that's where I get there. What's their pricing? Oh, what are they doing? Look at how their customers, how they're set up. And that's a source. And now you put it in there. So you start putting those sources so you don't have to worry about it. So when it comes, it's going to be an easy process. So last week you have a final exam, you got your paper, and a real quick power. So if you're building all this now, trust me, I've done this with my face-to-face. I was teaching you how to do time management within this class, how to be self-motivated, how to make commitment, how to do a project and put it off the side, but don't wait till you have it all. Build a little at a time. You know what I mean? And work it. So when you're at the end, all you have to do is just kind of make it flow, correct the grammar, and put everything else in. But it's not as difficult of a task when you have other homework out there. All right. So my name is Dr. George Mochocki. I'll see you in this discussion board or forum. Remember, I utilized the tool when I started. It was forum. Now everyone calls it discussion board. So it's still the same concept. It's just I'm taking the old and the new and I'm meshing it. Forum, discussion board. So if I use forum, discussion board, it's interchangeable. I enjoy talking to you online. Again, when you post out there, help other people as a network. Do not worry. I'm doing more and more. I put in my comments. I come in. I don't respond to everyone now because I read everything else in there. And if you're doing well, boom, I just put my comments when I give you your grade. And some students will get more than 20 points, whatever it is, depending if you do more than my 9. I look at a minimum from 6 to 9. If you do more than that, and I'm not just saying one sentence or two, give me some substance. Start utilizing business terms and concepts from the reading. If you say, well, I'm not a good reader, look at my YouTubes for this chapter. It basically goes through the mind map. And so when you look at my YouTube, now I kind of understand. You read it. That's what Dr. George is talking about. In the discussion board, now you're throwing that in. Now you become a reliable reference, a resource, not only to your team, but to your customers. And you take that knowledge and now how do I market that so they know when you hire George's or you go to George's hot dog stand, here's what I need. Because I've done my research, I've done this all. Doesn't mean you're going to be successful, but you have a higher probability of being successful because you understand what's out there and you have an action plan or a response to different things, different scenarios, depending what's out there. All right. So again, do your SWAT. Look at the Energize. Keep up on your Learn Smart. Remember, you can do your Learn Smart ahead. Some students do it. Even if you do it, go on to Learn Smart, look at that. It may not show in the grade until I open it up and download it. Those of you who've done any kind of late homework for me, send me an email because I have to resync it. The way McGraw-Hill's set up from the Learn Smart or Connect is their software. It only does one time download. So if I extend the due date or anything else, I have to do a manual resync or repairing, and then they'll re-download. This way it protects your privacy. It can't take anything up. It only could download and does it one time unless I request a second download. So we're doing fine. Look at the overall grade. You're almost at the halfway point. Don't give up on me now. We've got I got a solid, I think 12 to 16 students. Some of you are kind of shady back and forth, but you're coming around. You still got enough time to bring your grade up if you're at an F or, I got a few. Most of you are my B's and my A's overall grade. Remember, at work, we're not all experts in everything, so I'm a little weak here. That's why this class has set up a lot of work, but you'll come out and you'll learn the subject matter. My job as a consultant or contractor or lecturer for the College of Lake County is that you learn about business and that you know the vocabulary, you know the testing. At least you have a basic framework of how all business operate. I'll see you in a discussion board. Have a nice day. Bye.